Hi everyone, my name is Jason Leong, and I'll be doing a screencast of my screencast that me and my group made on UI design principles. So, one of the reasons why I feel UI design is so important is because it helps your audience navigate through your application, and it also helps things become more intuitive so that they know what buttons do and what they should expect when they click on something. It also helps retain the audience. Chances are they'll probably want to explore and use the application more if the UI is good. And also, this past weekend, I was at a hackathon, and one of the categories for winning was Best UI Design. So not only is UI design important within this class, but it's also important globally, and competitions recognize UI as an important factor to an application. So I'll be playing the video and I'll be doing some commentary as we go along.
We are going to be talking about UI design principles. This is being presented by me, myself, Kalani, Jason Leong, Christopher. So we are going to be talking about some examples of good UI design. The reason why the missile alert actually happened, and that reasoning because of bad UI design. The two good UI principles, which is visibility and simplicity, and we'll come to our conclusion. As you can see here on this slide.
So one of the reasons why we chose to review the missile alert design was because it's so it happened so recently and it's so applicable to us. So I felt that it was something important to review and go over.
The only bad part about the missile alert is it's actually just one word off from the actual not drill but test, which is one, pretty bad. Two, it really was stupid in its own right. Testing environment should have been separated from it, meaning that instead of having everything under one type of setting, they should have had just a test list and an actual list. The UI, it looks too simple for something that of its importance, meaning that if you were to look at it, it looks like a regular list, which should have been completely different.
Okay, so now we move on to a potential mock-up of what would have been a. So here, this is a redesign of the missile alert system that I did for another class, and this redesign was kind of good in that it just separated the test environment from the real environment. So chances are, if there will be less mistakes happening if the user knows that there's difference between tests and the real alert, and it'll help slip-ups. So next we'll skip a little bit ahead to one of the first principles. That's visible. It should be one that people are able to see and know that they can interact with. For example, if I were to click on highlighted blue text, I would expect to be taken into another page because it's a hyperlink. And users should also be able to understand what they can click on and what to expect when clicked. For example, going back, if something's highlighted blue, I should know that I can click on it. And we shouldn't also allow users to guess things should be very intuitive. If I am clicking on a link that says see a video on cats, when I click on it, I should expect a video on cats and not a video on dogs. So this UI principle was actually taken from this site over here, Give Good UX. So one of the reasons why I decided to choose it because there was a good mix between words and pictures. So I felt that it was super easy to read and it wasn't too overwhelming with information since there was a good mix between the two text and pictures. So one of the principles that I researched on was called the Hoag's principle, which was 4 important parts that would lead to better visibility design. So the first one was to lead the user through an interaction. And the second is guide them through a series of tasks. 3 is indicate what possible actions are available to them. And 4 is communicate the context of the situation. So to summarize it, Hoag's pretty much tried to explain that things should be very visible and that it should be intuitive when you click on it and you should know what to expect. So moving on, next we have this graph here, various gestures and things you should expect. For example, this first one, the click-in tab. When you click on something, you should expect some sort of interaction to happen, and it should bring you to something you would expect. For example, if you were to click on a button that says next, you should expect to be brought into a next page. There are other ones like touch and gesture, drag and drop, show and hide. They're all actions that users should expect and be familiar with, and when they actually conduct that action, it should be what they want. So next we have some good UI examples of visibility. So this is a web page of Zillow. So here we decided that since we introduced the audience to what the visibility principle is, we should kind of give an example of how, why visibility is important and how it's used in a real life example, such as the website Zillow. So instead of watching the video, we'll actually go to the website itself. So here you can see that there's various buttons that are very intuitive. When you click on it, it'll actually switch the text to sell your home. Or when you click buy, it'll say find your home. So it just makes it very easy for people to navigate around, and there's no misslips or there's nothing you wouldn't expect out of a drop down or any text box or things like that. So we'll keep going on to the video. And what makes Zillow such a good so we'll skip ahead since on the rent tab to interact with, gone to help me with the web page. And next we have Reddit here. So this is another example of visibility, and this one is similar to Zillow in that everything's very well laid out and people are very familiar with hyperlinks. So you can see here that there is blue text that people can click on, and it's very easy for people to tell and know that this is a new post or a new article that they can click on. This one is also a very good design because they're all pretty much hyperlinks. They're things people are very familiar with. If people wanted to learn on the difference between a small versus medium orange juice
Another important UI principle for critical systems is simplicity. It is important that language used is easy to understand but specific. The UI should consider the goals of the user and make it easy for them to achieve it. UI should also be designed for minimum conscious effort, meaning that users should be thinking about the interface they are using. Google is a great example of
So before we go into the Google example, the article we chose that was based off of our PowerPoint was this article on simplicity. And the reasons why we chose it was because it had very good layout or UI. It was very well laid out. The text wasn't too overwhelming, and all of its examples were supported by an example such as the GoDaddy and other websites. So it was very easy to understand what simplicity meant and how we should go about building it into our website.
simplicity in user interface. The cursor starts at the search bar as soon as the page is loaded, and the search bar is located in the direct center of the site, thus making the purpose of the page obvious. The Django user admin page also has a clear and simple UI, which is crucial for an interface used for managing a website. Human operators are often the weak link in any embedded system. Failure rates for humans as system components are several orders of magnitudes higher than other parts of.
So here we wanted to give some statistics on why it's important to have simplicity, because these failures can happen, and as you can see here, the various error probabilities can really add up and cause errors within the application.
Human operators are often the weak link in any embedded system. Failure rates for humans as system components are several orders of magnitudes higher than other parts of the system. This table shows the probability of human error in critical systems operation. While automated systems are able to perform repetitive tasks well, they aren't reliable in unusual situations. Humans are needed for these situations. However, if emergencies are rare, operators may become bored and have lower responsiveness in an actual emergency. The current best method in critical systems UI design is iterative design, evaluation, and redesign. It is important to separate design of the human-computer interface from other components in the system, so defects in the interface do not propagate faults throughout the system. A common method of UI inspection is heuristic evaluation, where a set of people inspect a user interface design and judge it based on qualitative usability guidelines. Here's a sample set of usability heuristics.
So here we wanted to kind of run through what to do with HCI design and the procedure people go through in order to achieve the best possible design.
An exhaustive form of UI inspection is cognitive walkthrough. Cognitive walkthrough evaluates every step a user would take to accomplish a goal and judges how well the user.
So this is another method that people use to evaluate their design.
Is able to perform correct actions in each step. It is great for uncovering flaws such as poor labeling and feedback, but isn't good for determining the effectiveness of a comprehensive interface that's meant to provide the user with many choices.
So, in conclusion, we've talked about how humans are unpredictable and difficult to model for the HCI designs. Humans have higher failure rates under high stress levels, but are more flexible in dealing with emergency situations than automated systems. Interface must be visible and simple to prevent both lacking information and overloading the user with information. the human operator is out of the control loop in an automated task, the operator will tend to adapt to the normal operation mode and not pay close attention to the system. When an emergency conditions occur, the operator's response will be degraded.
So that was our screencast, and some final thoughts. One of the things we could improve on is probably introducing actual methods and frameworks that could be used to enhance user interface. We mostly talked about the kind of the principles and things that go into it, but not necessarily different tools and things that are out there that can help with it, such as using Bootstrap or other frameworks that help make websites cleaner, and that's something we could probably introduce in the future.